Hello, and happy Technical Tuesday. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you're all ready for another bite-sized nugget of technical information this week. And I'm going to briefly be covering the concept of NAT, so Network Address Translation. It fits in quite nicely with previous topics concerning IP addressing and how we access the internet. So to put it in simple terms, NAT is a translation of a private IP address to a public IP address. But why is this needed? So due to the number of IPv4 addresses being limited, NAT was introduced to help combat the issue of diminishing IP addresses globally. So NAT can reveal just one address for an entire private network to the outside world, hiding your entire workplace behind a single IP address, adding a layer of security. So to communicate across the internet, a device requires a unique IP address to ensure that the reply is sent back to the original sender. To do this, a NAT firewall or router is required to be the translator between private and public networks. So this NAT device acts like a receptionist with precise instructions on who to allow, who to make wait, or who to kick out, and never revealing to the public any information that is private. So NAT has a few different forms such as static, dynamic, overloading, and overlapping. So we'll start with static NAT. Now, static NAT is a one-to-one translation, mapping an unregistered IP to a registered IP, consistently keeping the same address, whereas dynamic NAT maps an unregistered IP address to a registered IP, picked up from a group of registered IPs. And NAT overloading, which is also known as PAT, which is port address translation, is designed to map multiple unregistered IPs to a single registered IP. So that's many to one. And it does this by using ports. It's the most common form of NAT. And as by using NAT overload, you can get thousands of users to connect to the internet by using only one public address. And it's thanks to PAT that the IPv4 address space has lasted so long. However, thanks to IPv6, NAT is now rendered as useless when it comes to translation, as the IPv6 address space is so large. IP addresses can connect to the internet directly. However, NAT can still be used for privacy and security reasons. Now, that was a very brief overview of NAT, but thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great week.